evening, everyone. I'm your host, comedian, magician, Danny Whitson. But it's all tricks aside, because tonight we're turning the paranormal into the normal. Join me as we explore the gray areas of reality. We're going to talk all things paranormal, UFOs, ghosts, cryptids, and aliens, and see how it's all connected. This podcast is brought to you by the Experiencer Support Association, and we are live. So if you're an experiencer yourself, or you're just plain nosy, be sure to send me your question and subscribe to the podcast. Now, get ready, because it's going to get deep. No, really, we're going to go way out there, because this is Beyond the Tinfoil Hat. What's happening, my paranormal junkies? Welcome to Beyond the Tinfoil Hat, and I'm your host, comedian, magician, Danny Whitson. I tell you what, I hope you guys have had a fantastic week. I hope it's been a spooky week, but a cool week, but a cool spooky week, okay? Whatever that means. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go. But anyways, we got some really cool things going on over on Ryan Stacy, UFO Paranormal Investigator on Facebook. He's got 3 new articles. Get over and check them out. One of them he feels really, really good about, but I'll let you decide which one that is. Go check it out at Ryan Stacy, UFO Paranormal Investigator on Facebook. And if you don't follow the Facebook page, follow the Facebook page. Yes, go hit like. Take your finger and just apply a little bit of pressure, just like that, and hit like, and then follow the page. A lot of cool stuff. Ryan puts a lot of cool things on there, so be sure to follow us on Facebook. Also, our very own Dawn Peterson has a really cool article on the website at experiencersupport.org. Go check her article out. She posts a lot of really cool stuff, a lot of mysticism and stuff like that. I think it's interesting, so definitely go there and check it out. And if you notice right here, there's a little ticker that says patreon.com/heedtheworld. Yes, it's our Patreon page. If you want to go support Tessa and everything that Ryan's doing with the investigations and this podcast, go to patreon.com/heedtheworld for anywhere from like $4 to $12 a month. Different type of packages give you access to different things. A lot of cool stories, a lot of cool articles, some really cool investigations. Another thing, experiencers, if you are someone out there who has had a paranormal experience, a UFO experience, anything, and you would like to reach out to Ryan, go to the experiencersupport.org and hit him up, and he will get back with you. He will listen to you. It's a safe place. Share your story. Also, if you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, come on the podcast. I would love to hear your story. I love stories. I love talking to folk. Now, that being said, unfortunately, tonight's guest was unable to make it. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to be taking questions. Ask me questions. I'm going to share some of my paranormal experiences tonight, but not just me. We're also going to have a very special guest on tonight, a very special guest, our very own Beyond the Tinfoil Hats tech maestro, Mr. Chris. Let's welcome him on. Yes.
Hey guys, how's it going?
How you doing?
We do have the guest. She's running a little late.
Oh, okay.
I did send her the link again because she's actually waiting on Facebook, not or on YouTube, not here. So we're just waiting for her.
Oh, okay. So the guest will be here.
The guest should be here. Yes,
should be here. So we're going to say would be, should be. Okay.
Should be here.
Should be here. Well, then, okay, folks, don't run away. You're like, no, not Chris and Danny. No. Well, we do have a very interesting guest. If they get here, we're going to wait and we'll talk about her. But first, we're going to wait till she gets here. But before we get in here, wait a minute. You want to see a really cool magic trick?
Always.
You guys want to see a cool magic trick? The comments are like, sure, whatever. Sure. Watch this. Look. Watch. Something right there in my nose, right here, right. Ah. It's a coin. Okay. Don't do your expecting, but a magic booger. I don't know, but we're going to go with a coin. But here's the cool thing about these coins. Watch closely. Watch closely, because if you look really close, they get really big. There we go. It's just kidding. It's really just rubber, Chris. It's just okay. Shh, don't tell anybody. All right. Up next, Chris is going to juggle for us, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, right.
There we go. Chris is a juggler. Anyways, well, we can still talk about some of your stories. Now,
yeah, we can definitely do that.
You shared something freaking interesting with me. Behind the scenes, me and Chris was chatting. And, I said, Chris, I see you. Thank you, Live Light. Hey, Chris, let's give a round of applause for our very own Live Light. She shows up every week. Come on, Chris.
Yes, she does.
There we go. Yes. She shows up every night with some awesome questions. And here's something else. I want to really encourage this tonight for you viewers on here right now. Send us your questions. We want you. Don't be shy. Throw them out there. Anything you have, we will get it on the screen and we will ask tonight's guest these questions. If you got questions for me, even right now, if you got questions for Chris, throw them up here. We will gladly read them. We strongly encourage you to share your questions.
Of course.
But here, let's do this real quick because we don't know if we'll ever get this opportunity again to get Mr. Chris on here.
Probably not.
Chris, what is your paranormal? Why are you here? Tell us what brings you here.
Well, I do have native background, so I see, and my mother's a mortician.
Oh, so, that's really interesting.
She doesn't like.
So you really did see dead people.
Yes. So I see people that's passed on. I've seen, my family. I see my native ancestors.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. I can go somewhere that's, a burial ground and I'm hurting. Like, I feel the pain. I feel it's
so like you feel like the emotional connection.
Oh, yeah. I can get stabbing pains, stuff like that. So like if someone's been murdered, I can walk in there and pretty much hurt myself.
Wow. Now, so okay, let me back up because something I did not know, folks. I never knew this about Chris. I didn't know that your mother was a mortician. So
well, she's not a mortician.
Okay.
She's a funeral help.
Okay.
They call it a support staff. She does everything but the embalming.
Okay.
So she goes and picks up bodies. She goes and does.
You put the makeup on them?
Yep, puts the makeup on them, dresses them, put them in the caskets. She does everything.
Now, has that always been? I mean, have you like grown up around this?
Yeah, she's 20 some odd years.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know if she wants me to say this on air, but I'm going to do it anyways. Her first patient.
Is that what they call them, as patients?
That's what I'm calling it right now.
Okay.
Was her father.
Oh, wow.
First day on the job.
Heavy, dude. Are you serious?
Yes.
How did she do that?
It was her calling.
Wow.
That's what she says. It was her calling.
Wow.
6 weeks later, her mother.
Wow, dude. That is crazy. Wow.
Right?
So your mom, she had to help prepare her parents.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Like first day on the job, she called her boss and said, "I'm going to be late. This is what happened." Yeah.
Man. Now, you grew up, like I said, so this was kind of the norm for you then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did you, like you say that you experience and, spirits, or you can, those type of presence, did that happen there at the funeral home or?
No. My first experience, I was at school. I was, and I could tell you, because I live the day still. I went to school and I didn't know I call him my brother. He wasn't my brother, but we weren't related at all. His name was Chris too. But I saw him die.
Oh man.
So I went to the washroom, and because I had to go to the washroom. So I left, went to the washroom, came back, and my mother was coming through the school doors. I'm like, Chris died, didn't he? She goes, yeah, how'd you know? I'm like, I just know. So I went back to my teacher, says, I'm out of here. Like it or not, I don't care. Suspend me. I'm leaving. And the teacher's like, oh, you can't go in the middle of class. And then he gets a phone call from the office saying, let Chris go. Family member just died. And he's like, how'd you know that? And, because even he was flabbergasted. And the next day he asked me, I'm like, I saw him wave goodbye. Clear as day, I saw my friend, Chris, best friend, wave to me goodbye.
What happened? What, how did he die?
His esophagus ruptured.
Wow. I mean, did he have it just ruptured? I mean,
just ruptured. We don't know.
Oh my God. How old was he?
He was in his 30s.
And so he wasn't with you, right?
No. He wasn't with me at all. I was at school.
You were at school and he was somewhere else. And then you just knew when it happened.
He waved at me goodbye.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. In thin air. I looked up. He waved at me goodbye. I was in class.
Oh, man, dude. That's crazy. That is nuts. So, and now in this, had any other thing like this experience? Have you experienced any more, like this, any more experiences like this since then?
Since then, yes, I have. It's just like people.
I mean, is it people that that you've had these experiences with, or do you ever like get some random stranger like, who the hell is that?
I get randoms. Mostly now it's because my native roots, it's more like that.
So you think the correlation is there with your native roots? Here, put Liv's question up here. She's got a good question. Has your gift increased with age?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So
yes.
The older you get,
that I will say yes. I didn't get into my native roots until about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And ever since then, it's gotten big. It's gotten big. I could be, well, here's a story. My nephew's going to hate me for this one, but we used to have a place. I won't tell you the place. That we go to do our security, and I could tell you, I could be sitting here on the phone with him, just on the phone, and I could tell him where he is on that site just by the people I see.
So you see like a vision, almost like a remote viewing type of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't know I could do that until about a year ago.
Now, did you do any of the, like we've had guests on before who actually said you can take this course and learn how to remote view. Apparently you can learn how to do it. So this isn't anything that you learned how to do. It was something that you just started happening.
Right. And then we went on a ghost tour. Same place. Went on a ghost tour. And the person on the ghost tour kindly asked me to stop talking. Because I was taking over. I was telling stuff that he didn't even know.
Oh. And now let me ask you, is it like pop in your head, or do you
I
Do
feel it.
do you feel it? Do you
I feel it.
almost like picture it, or
I feel it. I picture it. This place that I was another place that we've been at. I've given a person a ride. I was in my car, and my nephew thought, "Hey, I'm going to screw with him," and he's like, "Well, there's someone in your back seat." I said, "No, he's not. He's in my front seat. I'm taking him from here to here. This is what he looks like." And so I talked to the ghost hunter guy, like the ghost tour guy, and personally, and I said, "Have you seen this guy around?" He goes, "Oh yeah, he lives up here." Exactly where I dropped him off. So it was reassuring to me that I actually saw something. Hey Lisa, how's it going?
Hey Lisa, what's happening? Getting questions? Any questions for me and Chris?
Yeah, because it's only us tonight.
Well, so you did say the guest is coming though, right?
Guest should be coming. Linda, I clicked.
Any updates on Miss Linda?
But it's not accepting. Oh, okay.
What's going on? What's the problem?
It's not accepting her password on Google. So I don't know what's happening with her then. So it might be just us.
It's not accepting her password
on Google.
It's that same thing with the tell her she could try using if she uses the browser link like what I had to do one time. I had that. Remember the time I had an issue?
Yes. Can you still see me or no?
You're froze. I thought you were like, being a mime.
Okay, so you can see me.
No, you're just froze.
No, but you can hear me.
I can hear you. Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, I hope it's you I'm talking to.
Yes. I actually have to go because my computer just froze. So I will be right back.
He'll be right back. Still froze. And our guest can't get in tonight. Doesn't know the password, but having issues. We can still hear you, Chris. But you're still there.
I am froze, but I have to restart.
All right,
I'll be
Chris
back in a
is
second.
going to restart. All right, you do your thing, Tech Baby. There we go. And I see we've got Liv in the chat. We got Lisa in the chat. Hope you guys are doing all right tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry, we've had some tech difficulties and we have had some guest difficulties. Our guest, Linda, I think it's Meris is how you say her last name, pronounce her last name. I do apologize if I messed that up, Linda. But she was the one who was supposed to be here tonight, but she's having some issues with logging in, which is unfortunate because, oh man, I really wanted to talk to this guest. So if we, like I said, we don't make it happen tonight, we will make it happen again in the future, guys. I promise, because she seems like she's a medium. And she has made contact with a controversial stand-up comedian, and I definitely want to know who she's talking about. So like I said, if we don't get her on here tonight, we will get her back on here in the future and, get a chance to ask her some interesting, That's what happens when you're live, folks. You mess up words, interesting questions. So, but yeah, if you guys got any questions for me, I'm your host. I know you guys have been, tuning in each week here and probably wondering who the hell is Danny Whitson. Like I said, I am a stand-up comedian slash magician who believes in the paranormal, who's had his very own experiences. What do we got here, Liv? Danny, what paranormal area do you currently find the most interesting? Okay. Once again, Liv, keeping our questions alive. You know what, Liv? I'm a big believer in the spirit realm, the spiritual area, because I've had the most intense experiences with that area. I was the UFOs, and I didn't become a believer probably until the past 2 years. I think the reason why I kind of did not want to believe is it was because something that I I was probably didn't understand. So, but now I'm kind of I'm kind of in this area to where I think it's all connected somehow. And I don't know how. I don't know how it's all connected, but I think, there's, on a consciousness type spiritual world, it's all connected somehow. So, but I right now definitely UFOs, just because it's in our face so much right now.
Yes, it is.
And that's what really, if you look at my YouTube algorithm, I mean, it's it's all UFO stuff, that pops up that I'm checking out. And but we've always, and then on the paranormal, the ghosts and stuff like that, we've always been fans of that too. And there's actually a YouTube channel that I like to watch, and it's called Slapped Ham. Which, first of all, that's like the greatest name ever, Slapped Ham. But basically, what he does, though, he gets all the people send him videos of paranormal footage, UFOs. A lot of it's a lot of ghost stuff, but and he lets you make your own opinion. And I'll be honest with you, probably about 60% of it, I'm like, yeah, that's garbage. That's somebody just looking to try to get views. But every now and then you find some real serious, some interesting stuff there. Is that you, Chris?
I'm still here.
Who's Darth Vader in it over there? I hear somebody huffing and puffing in the mic pretty heavy.
Yeah, that's me. I apologize.
I am your father. There we go. But anyway, sorry guys.
Yeah,
I'll tell my story.
No, it was a good story.
But no. So, anyways, I'm a big fan. But right now, probably UFOs, just because there's just so much so fast it's happening. What about you, Chris? I mean, I know, like you said, you're more with the spirits and stuff. But,
no, I'm getting into the UFOs and the paranormal stuff. Especially through Tessa. When I first started Tessa, I was skeptic. I was. And now that I'm, listening to all the guests that we have, and to you, to Ryan, I'm now starting to believe.
Well, and I think Ryan seems to believe this, and I believe this too. And it's just like with anything, it's anything. The more you pay attention to something, the more you experience, you will see it. And
the more you hear about it, the more you see it. Yeah.
I had my first UFO UFO experience a few months back, which I've mentioned on the show before. Is I was just driving down the road here in my town, and I was at a red light, and I just looked up and I saw this Tic Tac shape just flying in the sky, and it was too high up to be a drone, and it was too low to be a like a plane. But the thing that was very uncanny about it was just how nonchalantly it was flying. Like, I don't care who sees me. Hey, how you doing? You know what I mean? And I was just like, damn, does nobody else see this? What the hell is that? And I remember trying to get my phone and to take a picture, and I only got like a blurry shot of my dashboard. But I do remember I messaged Ryan. I was like, dude, I saw a UFO, and the first one I ever seen. But would I have saw that if I wasn't, kind of interested in this world now, this community, and paying attention to stuff like that? What does Lisa have? Yeah, Lisa says she heard you're breathing too, by the way, Chris. So
I'm sorry.
That means all of Canada and America in the States too. Lisa, I have been experiencing some paranormal things. It's crazy. Lisa, what's going on? What's happening? She's had some. Is it recently? Have you had some experiences here recently? And if you want to type it out, put it up here. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, of course.
Gladly. I mean, I also believe this too, and I would hear people say this, and I would kind of chuckle and laugh back in the day. But this is true. This is real. I really, really believe some people are more sensitive to the paranormal than others. So I've had so many things happen to me, and I hate to even say that I'm kind of sensitive to it myself. Now I don't see things or get any visions or anything like that. No, but it just seems like if a ghost wants to pop up and screw with me, a ghost likes to screw with me. You know what I mean? So there's just been this is a weird one. You want to hear a weird one?
I'm listening.
All right, okay, all right. This is a weird one, and it makes no sense at all, but it just happened. I don't know why the hell it happened, but it happened. And it's dumb too. So you guys watching, don't sit here and brace for something really spooky and crazy. No, this is freaking stupid, but it happened. I was home alone and I was in my living room and I took my shoes off and I had my shoes. And sometimes you kick your shoes off, kind of kick them off lazy. You don't care how they land. You just get these bad boys off my dogs. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there and one of my shoes isn't setting right. It's sitting on the side on the floor. And I'm just sitting there and I just happen to look over at my shoe. And then for some reason it goes from its side, boop, to sits upright by itself. And the first thing I was like, what the hell? So I went down there and, I looked at my shoe and I'm making sure there wasn't a frog in it or something. What the hell? Why did this do this? And nothing. But I mean, and it wasn't like there wasn't an earthquake. There wasn't anything, not a gust of wind. It was just me in the room by itself and my shoe it's like something was picking up my mess, And I just thought, wow, that is such a weird thing. And no one's going to believe me, but I don't care. But I know what I saw. That just happened. So it's a lot of little nonchalant little stuff like that happens. It really does, So the most experiences I have are with ghost spirits and stuff, And I don't know. I mean, like I said, is it a ghost? Is it a spirit? I don't know. Or is it somebody from another dimension? I don't know. Let's get Liz's question up here. She's got another question for us. Let's get it up here. What are your thoughts on disclosure? Do you think aliens amongst us may actually be the norm of our near future? I do. It's so, as crazy it is to believe that, they may be walking around us. Like you guys have heard the, what is the one paradox that they always talk about? The Fermi's paradox. Okay. And that's where people, and this is the one thing that bugs me too when people say this. And I'm going to come back to your question right here, Liv. It's going to connect. Okay. The Fermi paradox is where, like, well, if there was life out there, we've existed so long, the universe is so huge and big that it either would have, reached out to us by now if it existed. So that means it probably doesn't exist, I believe, if I'm not jacking it up. And, or there's a possibility that, the universe is so old and so huge is that there was life out there, but it's died. There's been civilizations that's died millions of times over, but basically it's like the universe is so big and so old. If there was actually another life form out there that existed, it would have contacted us by now. We would have been part of each other's lives. Now, a lot of people like to run with that to kind of support their facts that, aliens aren't real, UFOs aren't real, stuff like that. It doesn't prove anything to me. Actually, what it says to me is, okay, so they probably are here then. You get what I'm saying? It's just the complete opposite. So the universe is so big, the universe is so old that they could be here right amongst us and we wouldn't even know it, the same way, like whenever you look at people who, I always find it kind of creepy, but like in the panda zoos, someone dresses up like a panda and gets in the panda cage to, to help nurse the baby or something, I mean, so, who knows if that's what's going on, just but the opposite. I don't know how disclosure, I think what's going on right now in the States is, it seems like they're gradually, slowly opening the door, but they don't want to go too fast. And I think it's for several types of reasons. one of the best ways is to give you a little bit of the truth and then throw in some discredited bullshit to kind of throw you off again, to keep you guessing, so you don't know really what's going on. The implication, people say, well, could we handle it? Well, I think a lot of us here in North America could handle it. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure how the entire world would react to disclosure. And because, I mean, we've got countries right now that bomb each other over their books.
Yeah.
So imagine how they would react if, and I'm not just putting it on other people in other countries either. Right here in my country, I think the main reason why your biggest enemy against, the truth actually coming out is money. In America, in the United States, it's all about money. So, until somebody can figure out a way to make a lot of money off of something, I don't think it'll be completely out the door. Let's see. Lisa's got something interesting here. Says, I had encounters with a 8 to 9 foot gray wearing a black hooded cloak shadow people. MIB, black helicopters. People say they are, what is it? My lab military abductions. I've heard those stories, by the way. I've heard those stories.
I haven't.
Well, well, here's the thing, okay? This is the thing that blows my mind about this, okay? Is you talk to people, you talk to all these people, and a lot of them have, they describe the same thing, So, they talk about the little grays, or they talk about the 8 to foot, not the tall grays, or these, and the MIB type black helicopters. You hear these things. And I mean, it's just so coincidental. I mean, that's all. It's like for it to not to be something to this. There has to be something to this, I mean, that's interesting to me, Lisa. Very Lisa. And I've heard the stories about the military abductions. I don't know, I don't know any facts or any, I haven't seen any evidence, but I have heard the stories about some of these MIB type military, people going to places here around, if there was a natural disaster somewhere, that's where they go. And the reason why is because a death rate, is really high. And apparently, the rumor is they're taking dead bodies, and abducting them for, I don't know, for the 8 to 9 foot tall grays. I don't know what's going on, but I've heard that story before. I've heard those stories, which is interesting. Definitely interesting. But let's see. We got I don't know. We got Phil Jones. Phil Jones, welcome to the chat, Phil. Peace and blessings from the UK.
Welcome.
Yes,
that's nice.
The UK's got a great UFO story.
New viewer, I think.
New viewer, welcome to Beyond the Tinfoil Hat.
Welcome.
Questions, man. Send your questions, Phil. If you got any good questions, there's no stupid question here. No crazy questions either. This is Beyond the Tinfoil Hat, all right? So nothing crazy, nothing too crazy for us.
And we go beyond. If you got
any questions, send them, man. We would love to hear them. Absolutely. But yeah, the UK's got they've got their own kind of like Roswell story, which is very interesting too. And I don't know all the details on it, but it's a very famous story, involved the military. And I think, some guys got so close to the ship that was there in the woods that they could, get the readings and stuff off the side of the ship. If you get a chance, you need to look that up, Chris. It's really good.
Yeah, you should tell them the movie that you're in.
Oh,
the one that you sent me.
Well, luckily, guys, I'm in 2 movies right now. One of them, but let's talk about the latest one. It's called Vinny's Fantastic Rock and Roll Adventure. Okay, and I have a couple of parts that I get to play. One part, I play an alien. Me and my wife play aliens, gray aliens, and it's a comedy, by the way. This is a rock and roll comedy. and we actually abduct Vinny. And here's the thing: Bigfoot is this crazy conspiracy theorist. Bigfoot is, and Vinny winds up pissing Bigfoot off. So he gets his buddies, the gray aliens. We abduct Vinny, and there's a comedy scene of me, having fun with Vinny. So there's that, and then I play myself, an annoying magician. So, but yeah, if you get a chance, it's streaming right now on Amazon Prime. You can even see it on Tubi if you want to. Which Tubi's got some good stuff on it. You can't knock Tubi. But Amazon Prime, Tubi, it's streaming a bunch of places. It's called Vinny's Fantastic Rock and Roll Adventure. You can see yours truly, Danny Whitson, in that movie. It's a good movie. Phil Jones talks about the it's here. You say this, Chris, because I don't want to jack this up. Redlesham Forest. The Redlesham Forest, absolutely. That's the big story there in the UK, dude. That's a crazy one, man. That's a crazy one. That's kind of like, I mean, here we go. Lisa has she's got 2 spy cameras to put
coming. Yeah.
There we go. That's something too. What do you think about that, Chris? Like, because now we live in a day and age to where we have cameras everywhere.
I have cameras everywhere. Well, I don't, but I know somebody that does. And you can get some cool stuff on there. Like I got a dash camera in my car. It's helped me a bunch of times. People running red lights, stuff like that. But I have caught stuff because I've had it run overnight. And I've caught stuff that you don't know what it is.
See, that's and with we have the ability now to constantly watch. So exactly. There's no telling what we're going to see. Phil Jones says, I have just finished a new Apple TV series, Constellation, really good about space and alternative reality. I love watching those too, man. I love watching those. What was the last one that was the series that they just did? I think it was a TMZ backed thing, which is interesting that TMZ has gotten involved with the UFO thing. But my good friend Kelly Chase was in that series, and she's fantastic. Yeah, she was in that series, and it was interesting because it kind of covered the whole disclosure thing that's going on right now in the United States with Congress. Who knows what to believe? Who knows, who's telling what or what's going on? But either way, it's definitely piqued my interest. But I don't know if I've seen Constellation, but I do. I think I'll check that out on Apple TV. I'll be sure to check it out. Live Light says, I really like the sci-fi Netflix series 3 Body. Yes, I just started 3 Body Problem. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I get excited about
that. That's fine. I don't have Netflix, so this one's yours.
Yeah. Well, no. I just started it, and I think I've watched I'm 2 episodes in. Okay. She said thought-provoking and very interesting, highly recommended. It starts out, it's got all the cool things, it's basically, it's got your physics and, the particle accelerator thing. But basically what I'm catching on is like, it's kind of like what we talk about here. And I mean, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, Liv. I'm only 2 episodes in, but it seems like the universe is conscious. It's trying to communicate with us somehow. And I hope that's where it's going. So, but yeah, I'm currently watching that too on Netflix, the 3 Body Problem. So, yeah, I'm hooked. I love it. There's so much. That's the other thing is like, this is an interest. And I think these experiences people have are real. It's personal, but on the same time, it's kind of fun. You know what I mean? It's fun to I love vegging out and watching some of these things on YouTube and some of these channels. Yes, Liv, it's TMZ Presents UFO Revolution series. That was and now I'll be honest, I've talked to some of my friends about that, and a red flag that went up for them was whenever they saw TMZ is behind this. But I I think TMZ is also sometimes, somebody associates them with, paparazzi garbage, but also they also sometimes want to report the stuff that the other people don't want to report, So I thought it was kind of cool that they're back in this, Phil Jones is familiar with the original Chinese series 3 Body Problem, is on here on YouTube channel called 10 Cent, and it's really good too. And Phil, I don't know if you've seen the new one at all, but it's got the Chinese background, and the Chinese actors. Yeah, maybe check out both to see what it is. But so far, I'm hooked. I had never heard of it before, and I thought, wow, this is really cool stuff. Definitely, man. Thanks for the info, Phil. Lisa, let's hear. One night I had an experience and I woke up and MIB was in my room. I was laying down. He grabbed me by my right arm really hard. That's all I remember when I woke up, and I had a bruise on my arm where he grabbed.
Oh,
wow. That is, that's definitely creepy. That's definitely creepy. Not sure how to react to that one. How would you react, Chris, waking up with any bruises or physical places where something has grabbed you?
Yeah, I'd be freaked. I would definitely be freaked out. I haven't had anything happen in my sleep at all. I've had, ghosts or aliens, spirits trip me. I've actually watched kids trip me. It's kind of funny to, well, I wouldn't say funny to see, but it's interesting to see.
Well, I'll tell you what, because this is going to bring me into, okay, the whole grab thing. Now, granted, I didn't see anybody, I didn't get to see anybody grab me, but I have been grabbed by I don't know what it was. I mean, if you want to say a ghost, if you want to say a spirit, or I don't know, but it has happened to me. And it's something that is, I think it's the worst thing. One of the worst experiences you can have, because it's really hard. Like when you see something or hear something, it's easy. It seems like it's easier to describe that to another person, But when you're grabbed, it's only something. It's so personal. It's hard to explain what just happened, and there's a different sense to touch than there is to sight and sound. But I'll tell you what. Let's get to these. We got to give a shout out to our sponsor and, cut to the commercial break. But when we come back, I'm going to tell you my 2 personal stories, guys, about what happened to me. Stay tuned. Hang around. We'll be back and send more of your questions.
Have you ever wondered, or maybe just thought to yourself, if there were others just like you? People with extraordinary abilities, psychogenic advancement, and perhaps unique intuitions. Maybe you just wondered if there were other people who experienced unimaginable, unexplained, or even unusual and paranormal events. Are there people who have more questions, more fears than answers? Well, you're not alone. You've never been alone. We believe you. Sign up for EA today.
Business. It's your property. Your assets are worth protecting. Blacklight Investigative and Surveillance Services specializes in patrolling and inspecting residential or commercial property against fire, theft, vandalism, terrorism, and illegal activity. People and buildings are monitored to prevent crime. Keep your property, your people, and your assets safe from threat. Our elite staff are dual licensed private investigators and security guards. Blacklight Investigative and Surveillance Services. Go to blacklightiss.com.
Do you think I'm frozen?
I actually did.
Gotcha. Hey, I tell you what, guys, welcome back to Beyond the Tinfoil Hat. If you're just now tuning in, we have tonight's guest, our tech man, the tech guru, Mr. Chris, and we've got a fantastic group over here in the comment section. We got Liv, Light, Lisa, and we've got Phil, a first-time viewer. So, Phil, thank you. I hope you guys hanging around. Send your questions. We're going to keep this bad boy going.
Lisa did say something pretty good.
Oh.
I was told by my friend who is a ufologist. Yeah, I'll put it on the screen.
I was told by my friend who is a ufologist, he told me that if it happens again, for me to take a Q-tip and take a swab of it and send it to him. Wow, a sample if it happens again. Yeah. I mean, you know, like we've had people on here that's actually, you know, woke up and, you know, the next day and then, or a few days later found something, you know, a foreign object in the back of their neck. You know, it's a tendency to happen at night, you know, which is like, that's usually when most of us do go to sleep and our consciousness are in another realm of some sort. I mean, have you ever really thought about it? It's crazy. Dude, it's like you get knocked the hell out every night and you don't remember anything. And then you wake up the next day and just ready to go. That's how crazy sleep is. It's like, what the hell is, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, literally, it's just one of the craziest things. Your brain like, all right, we're going to shut down and go somewhere else for, you know, hopefully 6 to 8 hours. But yeah. I mean, totally. If it happens again, you know, try to follow it up as much as you can. what I was saying, before the break is, what happened to me wasn't during sleep or anything at night. This was a few years ago, and I was out on a jog. I was out jogging, and I was on my cool down walk, after I was done and I was cooling off, and I was out on this trail by the lake, which, a lot of paranormal activity happens close to water for some reason. And it was a real beautiful spot. And then out of nowhere, something just grabbed me and yanked me right off the trail. Now, the first thing I did was I thought like someone on a bike or another runner had ran into me. So I immediately, looked around, was like, what the hell just happened? But there was not a soul. No one was around. Nothing. Nobody. And it literally it felt like someone grabbed me by my waist and yanked me off the trail. That's exactly, if you could picture what that would feel like, someone to grab you by the waist and jerk you out of the way, that's exactly what it felt like. It freaked me out so bad. I called my wife. I was like, come pick me up right now. I'm done. Come get me. I have to tell you when you pick me up. And I tried to make sense of it. I tried to find some type of rational excuse for what happened, and I could not. I just can't. So I don't know. But so anytime anything has ever touched you, grabbed you, that's an experience that I don't wish on anybody because it's so violating. It's just you don't like it. But yeah, luckily though, mine didn't happen in the sleep, but at the same time, I don't want to be grabbed again. You know what? Liv's got a question here. She says, yikes, what do you think it was, Danny? Something trying to protect you? I don't know, because when something happens, especially that we can't explain, our brains, we always rush to try to make sense of it, which is natural, is what we all do that as humans. To me, I thought this, even I have no clue what it could be, but I will say this. The area where I was at, unfortunately, it's a place where a lot of people have went to commit suicide. I think lakes and stuff where people sometimes, if you're really depressed, they feel like they can find some peace there. There's been a lot of people that have just driven their cars there in the lake and drowned. So, I mean, who knows? Was it an angry spirit? Was it a spirit maybe trying to protect me from something? I don't know to this day. I have no clue. Maybe, I don't know. And when we talk about spirits, this is where I talk about maybe everything could be all connected to a sense of when we talk about spirits, are we actually talking about maybe some type of physical, spiritual being in another dimension, another, interdimensional being? I don't know, but I do know what happened. And, I can't explain it. I what's funny? And here last summer, me and my good friend had started going back to that lake. Okay. And, but I didn't run down that area. I stayed down the opposite side. I haven't been brave enough to go back down where that happened. I have not been back where that happened. I have not, no, but I've drove by it a lot. I've driven by it a lot. But last summer I was really close, but I kind of stayed on the other end of the trail. But I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe I should get back down there and check it. There's times I thought about maybe going there and doing an investigation if possible. So, but that was a real crazy experience. And you know what, man? I think I want to share one more with you guys if you guys like to hear it. I don't want to, bore you guys, but like I said, I've went back and forth over my life on at one time I was like I said, my background in entertainment, a little secret about most magicians is most magicians don't believe in the paranormal and or believe in psychics or a lot of stuff that matter, mainly because Houdini was a big skeptic. And a lot of magicians follow in the pattern of Houdini's thought process to where everything can be explained because I know how to fake it. I know how to pretend like I'm reading your mind, Chris. I know how to pretend to do these things. I know how to fool you. But that doesn't by any means mean that this is not real.
Right.
These things are not real. But over the years, at one time I was a hardcore skeptic. I was a hardcore atheist. I was a hardcore a lot of these things just because of my background. And even though, and I want to say this, my first paranormal experience was as a child. And it was I was 12 years old. And even though this happened, I had blocked this in the back of my mind for many years because I couldn't explain it and it annoyed me. So a lot of times the things that you can't explain, do annoy you, like, a lot of times people hate what they don't understand. That happens in everything, but anyways, when I was 12 years old, I actually saw a ghost, if that's what it was. A lot of people, go their whole lives and they never actually see a spirit but I was 12 years old and I actually saw this happen. And I've only told this I believe I told this on one other podcast, this story, but I'll definitely tell it tonight. But anyways, I was 12 years old and I had a friend staying over with me. And I remember we were setting up later than usual. And we heard a sound outside of my front yard. So I remember looking out the window and seeing something out by the gate, the fence of my front yard. And I remember running out of that room into our kitchen, and there was a side door that led outside from our kitchen. And I opened the door to see what was going on and stuck my head out. And that's when I saw it. Coming up the sidewalk, coming right up to me. And as this is where it sounds crazy too, guys, because if I was making this up, FYI, if I was lying, I would come up with a better story than this, by the way. But there was a man. He had his hands up like this. He had a white V-neck t-shirt on, green pants, barefooted, had a neck, no face, no head. Now, it wasn't chopped off, like he was been decapitated. No, but it just wasn't there. The head just was not there. So there was a neck, t-shirt, arms up, legs, barefooted. And now here's the other interesting thing too, guys, is that he wasn't walking towards me. He was gliding towards me. Okay. Now, I remember seeing this, thinking, I didn't know what was going on because, especially as a child, your whole life, you're told ghosts don't exist. It was all make believe. I grew up watching Scooby-Doo. It was always some, old man, Myers underneath the mask. You know what I mean? So there was always, something. So I'm like, I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. Well, here's the other thing is I know people say that animals can sense spirits and stuff, and I really believe they probably can. But I don't know what was going on with my dog that night because I looked down and my dog was on the front porch and he was cool with it. He didn't even acknowledge. And I thought, what is going on? So I remember standing there watching this thing come towards me, and then it turned, almost mechanical-like, turned and started going down the other side. I had another sidewalk that ran down along the side of my house. So when that happened, I was able to shut the door. And I ran into the other room and I got my buddy and I got his attention. I said, hey, man, there's something outside. You got to look at this. So he comes over to the